Judith, Chapter 1, The Assyrian Threat, the Fall of the Empire of the Medes, War against the Medes. It was the 12th year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, who ruled the Assyrians in the great city of Nineveh. During that period, Arphaxad ruled over the Medes in Ecbatana. Arphaxad ruled over, and he completely encircled the city with a wall constructed of hewn stones, each stone 3 cubits thick and 6 cubits long. The completed wall was 70 cubits high and 50 cubits thick. At the city gates he erected towers 100 cubits high, with a thickness of 60 cubits at its foundations. He made its gates 70 cubits high and 40 cubits wide to enable his entire army to march out in a body, with the infantry arrayed in proper rank. In those days, King Nebuchadnezzar waged war against King Arphaxad in the vast plain of the district of Regal. Coming to the support were all the inhabitants of the hill country, all who dwelt along the Euphrates and the Tigris and the Hydaspes, and from the plain, Arioch, king of the Elamites. Thus many nations banded together to confront the forces of the Keliod. Nebuchadnezzar's message to many peoples. Then Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Assyrians, sent messengers to all the inhabitants of Persia and to all who lived in the west, those who dwelt in Cilicia and Damascus, Lebanon and anti-Lebanon, to all who lived along the seacoast, to the people of Carmel and Gilead, Upper Galilee, and the great plain of Esdraelon, to all those who were in Samaria and its towns, and beyond the Jordan, as far as Jerusalem, Bethany, Chelos, Kadesh, and the river of Egypt, to Typanes, Ramses, and the whole land of Goshen, even beyond Tanis and Memphis, and to all the inhabitants of Egypt as far as the borders of Ethiopia. However, the inhabitants of all those lands paid no heed to the summons of Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Assyrians, and refused to join forces with him for the campaign. They were not afraid of him, regarding him as just a man. They sent his envoys away empty-handed and in disgrace. The campaign against Arphaxad. Then Nebuchadnezzar's anger was aroused against the entire region, and he swore by his throne and his kingdom to take revenge on all the territories of Cilicia, Damascus, and Syria, and also to put to the sword all the inhabitants of Moab, Ammon, the whole of Judea, and everyone in Egypt, as far as the coasts of the 2 seas. In the 17th year, he led his forces against King Arphaxad, and defeated him in battle. He routed the whole army of Arphaxad, his entire cavalry force, and all his chariots. He occupied his towns, and advancing on Ecbatana, he seized its towers, plundered its marketplaces, and reduced its former splendor to ruin. He captured Arphaxad in the mountain regions of Regal, and ran him through with his spears, destroying him once and for all. Then he returned to Nineveh with all who had joined forces with him, an immense horde of warriors. There he and his army rested and feasted for 120 days.